1,000,008, 1,000,009, 1,000,010. Oh. Whew. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Jimmy. Right now we're chasing a 315 bench press, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm doing right now for cues, how I set up the bench, exactly how I breathing techniques that I use to make sure I'm as strong as possible on all the heavy exercises, how I minimize fatigue, how I order my exercises, exactly why I order them that way. And I'm gonna tell you everything that I know in my 10 years of lifting experience to get the most out of your exercises. If you're a beginner or you're an intermediate in the gym, don't be afraid of going into a strength phase. It's really fun, it's enjoyable. And if you progress on bench, which you can progress really fast if you're a beginner or intermediate lifter, you can progress extremely fast. And out of that, you're gonna get tremendous gains. So I wanna take you through the workout, tell you how I fix muscle imbalances as well. I got a lot of tips in this video, so stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. I'll see you in the workout. Boom. Legion, because creatine is like one of the only supplements you should take if you're gonna take any. Let's get that scooped in. Okie dokie. So we have the bench set up here. I'm gonna try and make sure this is kind of centered. That's the most awkward part about this, setting up your own bench. If it's crooked, your bench might be crooked and you might get crooked titties. No, just kidding, that doesn't happen. But you wanna keep it straight so it's consistent. So my left pec is a little sore, and by a little I mean quite sore. Hopefully I'm hydrated enough. Yesterday's alcohol consumption definitely contributed to this feeling, and so I'm gonna make sure I warm up properly today so I don't rip my boobies off, because that's not ideal. Anyway, we're gonna jump to 3 plate. Haha, just kidding. Gonna start with 1 plate. We got a heavy set today, so just wanna take it easy. Sometimes I feel like I'm nuts for just talking to a camera by myself. But then I remember, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you watching this video. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Okie dokie. Warm up set number 2 coming up. We're gonna go up in increments. Normally I just jump to my max weight, but that's why you don't drink alcohol, people. It's not good for your body. So I set my grip first, find where I'm gonna place my fingers and pinkies, make sure it's even on the bar. And once I establish my grip, I'm gonna try and position my traps and dig them into the bench and lift my butt off the bench to do that. And then once they're dug into place, I lower my butt, keep my feet planted and stable, and hips very stable, digging into the bench as well as my second point of contact other than the traps. And then you'll see that all happen in one smooth motion. Here we go. Just like that. Pretty simple, right? I forgot to mention, once your traps are dug into the bench, unrack it, get into position, and then put your booty down. And then from there, you can bench. It's because this is so close to my working weight, I wouldn't do this last warm-up set, but we're just gonna test 1 rep, okay? Let's head into the last warm-up set. And pray that it feels good. Because we got some heavy lifting after this. So we've got 255 on the bar for 2 sets of 3. Fish oil burp. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing. The fish should be apologizing to me, actually. Okay, let's do this set. Okie dokie, set number 2. Usually the second working set is, in my experience, better than the first because you're fully warmed up. All the blood's in your muscles. You're ready to go. Your central nervous system is fired up. You know, you got a little bit of poo-poo coming out. If you have a diaper on, you're good, which I don't. We're gonna do the set though. Let's go. That's why I bench press, to be honest. It's just enjoyment. It's not optimal for growing your chest. But you know what is optimal? Wanting to be in the gym because you want to progress that bench press. That's very optimal. Plenty of reason to go to the gym. This thing here, so much fun. Next up, guys, we have tempo bench, which is one of my favorite accessories for bench press. 2-1-0, meaning 2 seconds on the way down with full control, pause for a second, and then go up normally. That's what 2-1-0 means. I have a few clients doing this, and I'm also doing this myself in my program. It is honestly one of the best accessories for improving your bench press, just because it forces you to use a perfect controlled bar path. So you're really ingraining, you're really practicing that that motion, that movement pattern. And that's what increasing your bench press really is ultimately about. It's just, it's a skill. It's a skill more than it is about anything else. That translates into muscles, into hypertrophy. You can pick up more weights on the dumbbells when you're doing incline press and get a lot more volume out of that. Whereas if you've never practiced some type of compound movement or strength training before, then it's gonna take you a lot longer potentially to get to that same amount of weight years down the line on incline dumbbells or whatever it might be, flying machine, toilet press. We have dumbbell shoulder press. Now it's important that you don't go too upright on this because that might be a lot more rotator cuff strain and you're still hitting the front delts the exact same way. Breathing is very important. How you set up the movement and save the most energy is extremely important. That ranges from how you kick up the dumbbells, use lots of knee power to kick it up to your shoulders as you sit back, plant your traps against the bench, because the better you can do that, the more energy you have for the actual set. That filled 80% of my diaper capacity, and honestly I should have stopped at 7 there, because that 8th rep is gonna add so much fatigue. Take it from me, if you feel the entire poop log coming out and your diaper capacity is reaching its limit, you pushed it too far, my friend. Push it back in. Okie dokie. So only 1 set of shoulder press, thank God. We're gonna follow up with 2 sets of lateral raises and then hit arms to finish off this workout. All right, we have some preacher curls now coming up. I'm only using 30s, but you don't need much with this because it isolates your bicep a lot more. And when you're doing preacher curls, it's extremely important to remember to use a towel, because if you think about the amount of armpits that touch this here, that get wedged in here, you're absorbing other people's sweat and it might have high estrogen content and you'll lose gains. So yeah, always use a towel for preacher curls. If you do have muscle imbalances, so you do extra activities with your right arm that you don't do with your left arm, to balance that out, these single-handed exercises are great for that. What you want to do is start with your weaker, smaller hand, and over time that'll help balance it out. Next exercise, we're doing some barbell rows. We're gonna use straps for this lift because we don't want our grip strength to be the limiting factor on this, on how many reps you can get. So straps are crucial for this exercise. And the key to executing a barbell row and getting the most out of it is actually having a very rigid core. You need core strength. You don't have the core strength to feel very stable in this position right here where you're pulling the weight. You may need to train your posterior chain more. I'm gonna rest a little bit and hit triceps. Okay, so it's really hard to beat the basics in terms of tricep training. All you have to do is simply max out the entire weight stack and use the easy bar. Simple. I'm gonna show you. You really don't need the reverse glizzy, vegan, GMO-free tricep extension. You just need the basics. So arm wrestlers and chronic gooners have one thing in common. They have humongous forearms, and it makes the appearance of your arms much bigger. And what do they do to train forearms? 1, they goon. 2, they mimic the sport of arm wrestling with weights, with resistance. Very straightforward. It makes a lot of sense, right? If you're gonna do weighted gooning, non-weighted gooning makes your forearms bigger, then weighted resistance gooning is obviously gonna make it even bigger. So yeah, I literally watched how arm wrestlers train, and they quite literally pretend they're arm wrestling with the cable. But it's just like I'm arm wrestling with the cable machine. Okay, so because I'm not a professional gooner, I reviewed that footage and I determined that I am terrible at gooning form. So we dropped the weight and we're gonna try to goon properly. All forearms, less of anything else. So it's all gonna be wrist flexion here. Boom, that's all you need. Maybe a slight inwards rotation. Get a full range of motion. Squeeze the muscle. All right, finally, we're on the last exercise here. We're gonna train some abs. I like to call this the weighted praying to God that we're gonna make some damn gains. And if you do that hard enough, maybe you will make some gains. Anyway, people usually neglect abs, but it is one of the most aesthetically pleasing most important muscle groups that you want to see when you cut down. So if you do build the muscle just like any other one, you'll see it sooner, even at higher body fat percentages. So for this exercise, I think of trying to flex my spine literally, because that's how you engage your abs properly. So you'll see me curve my back in the opposite direction of what you usually see on your favorite websites.
Please, God, give me gains. Please give me gains. Dear God, give me gains. Please make my muscles grow. Muscles, please grow.